nut job, whatever. However, they're expressing that this guy is bad. They're also right after that saying, now I know we're going to get like crucified on social media, but guess what? We don't give a fuck because it's time to fucking speak up. Like rip the Band-Aid off, tell it like it is. We're not holding back. Fuck you, psycho fans. You're part of the problem too. This guy is trouble. And if you guys really love that lady, you would not be kissing the ring and bowing down and like, you know, working her up, gassing her, telling her husband is this amazing guy when he's not. The writing's on the fucking wall, people.
People in my comments all day, look, you don't have to agree with me, but people in my comments say all day, you are literally the only podcaster that is not afraid to actually just speak. Like there is no team. I might say something horrible about Margaret in 5 minutes. I just call it like I see it. I'm seriously not even remotely afraid of social media. You can't do this job. It's not in the job description. Like those people shouldn't be listened to. You can't do the job if you care. It's just not in the job description. You can't do it. Can't have an
No, and you know what?
opinion.
I think it's time for a lot of these tree huggers to really like self-evaluate what the hell is really going on in their fucking minds, because at this point it's just fucking psychotic what I'm seeing. Right after the finale, I'm seeing all this shit on Twitter about how, oh my God, Teresa is so amazing. She was confronting Danielle because she didn't want violence. She didn't want like anger. When she told Danielle, why would you do that? You know, you don't got to go crazy. I think to myself, David, did they not watch what she said when she walked into the supper, the last supper? She literally said, I can't sit in front of Margaret because that food's going to be all over your ass. Like, what are you talking about? Praising her, the queen of peace. Someone even said, Mother Teresa, this is the real her, wanting peace and love, love, blah, blah, blah. Like, did you miss what she said the second she walked in? It's crazy. It's crazy.
This is an actual cult. This is the cult of tree huggers. Where are the cults?
Yes.
But why? Like, where are Kyle Richards cult members? Where are, I don't know, who's number one on the call sheet in Potomac? Where are the Grand Dames people? Where's Meredith Why? There's no other franchise that has this. None.
Yeah. And you know what? And it comes from, and I've been there. It comes from this mentality. I'll tell you why. Like, I question it now because I'm like so far from the way I used to think. But if I was in that camp, I would be the one saying Louie's the best, blah, blah, blah. But you know why you do shit like that? You know why those tree huggers are doing that? Why they're gassing her? Because they seriously believe if they press it, if they post it, if they push it, if they retweet it, quote tweet it, like if they regurgitate the same bullshit over and over and over and over and over again, you're going to swamp out, like you're going to drown out anyone who's tweeting facts or posting facts, and your narrative is going to be so overwhelming, the masses will have to believe it. So like I remember I would post something, right? Like Jim Leonard would want me to, let's say Louie did something crazy, right? And they're like, here's a good example, the no pajamas era. Okay, he made the no pajamas thing. Right away,
Yeah.
they were like, Gorga's got lawsuits, Gabriella. Let's go. We're pushing that. I must have fucking tweeted like crazy about the Gorga, like, oh, Joe Gorga's being sued for this. He's not even paying on his house materials. Like the whole narrative on social media was trying to take focus off of Louie saying the no pajamas thing, which was fucking weird. And we wanted to highlight Joe Gorga having a lawsuit and not paying on building materials for his current house or whatever. And we said it so much, David, that I remember the next day we looked at the timeline, all of us, Roxanne included. And you know what we said? We did it. We drowned out the no-nos pajama shit. I mean, it's still stuck because a lot of the bloggers, including you, covered it and thought it was fucking weird, which it was. But we did enough drowning out the facts, like with our bullshit narrative on the Gorgas, that we almost suppressed the no-no being pajamas being weird thing. And that's what they do now. If you think about it, like I like watching, you know, a lot of the Bravo bloggers on YouTube and stuff, you included. And if you pay attention to what you guys say, like you'll be like, I don't care if you guys are going to jump into my comments and say something, I'm going to tell it like it is. It's like the green light for the tree huggers to hop in your comments and talk shit to you. It's so crazy how automatically they just swarm your guys' comment section with hate because they try to drown out your facts. it's like you guys are saying the house is burning, everybody, and they're like, oh my god, what the hell, Melissa Gorga's using a filter on her picture, she's so fake, this bitch. It's like, what? We're sitting here watching Louie threaten somebody literally on national television and her son, and what are their fans screaming? Cake Boss, Melissa cheated with Cake Boss. What? Like, we're in the fucking circus. It's crazy.
It's
But
just,
anyway.
but anyway, and I agree with all of that. The statement was weird. Andy, do you want it before we get to the finale? Because there's some more things about hidden scenes that we never saw. Should we talk about this very strange podcast that Louie has now done? Which is that part of this tactic? Was this podcast that they put out last week? This week, I can't even remember. Last week, where what? It was like him professing, and I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I saw enough of it. Like, what was the point of that podcast? It was Louie on Teresa's podcast, basically talking about their love story and how they met, right?
Yeah, and that was really weird that he talks about how his sisters and his family knew who she was, and how they were like, oh, my sister were like, oh, she's gonna take care of you. Like, it was so funny because I remember, like, if you go back several interviews, like when they first met, he was all over the place talking about how he didn't know who she was. So a lot of people were like, wait, what? I thought you guys didn't know the girl, and now you guys were fans. Like, that's weird. I don't know what the point of this podcast was. Someone said it's because their anniversary was the other day, and so they released it, and they just wanted to highlight their love story. But if that was an episode to highlight their love story, I almost want to, like, I don't know, like, do people not realize, like, he's just regurgitating the exact same commentary in other, like, videos where he's professed his love to others? Because I had to absolutely point it out. I tweeted that picture of him in front of that Rulala store where he talks about making or losing $1 billion, and how he wakes up every morning and he's so happy, and it's like, I'm so thankful that you're in my life, you're just so fucking great. And then boom, I post the clip of Louie on Teresa's pod talking about how she's so fucking great. He's wanting to cry. He's made $1 billion in business, and he wakes up every morning running out of bed because she's so happy. And I just thought, so you make a podcast about your love story. Yeah, it sounds to me like you're telling me your love story from when you were dating Paula, or when you were dating Vanessa, or when you were professing your love on the Warrior video. The verbiage is very much the same. So I just thought, like, the irony, if this is supposed to be like a declaration of his love for her and their love story, it sounded very much like his love story with 3 or 4 of his other exes. It was cringe.
I found the podcast to be, not that I'm condoning anything he said about Margaret or at the family, but I just found this podcast to be even stranger than all of it. Like, I found this podcast, I don't know why, but he's sitting there and it's just like, I like people like me. I just lay it on the line, rip off the Band-Aid, tell me to fuck off. I am so freaked out with this man who is crying and just, I'm a stepfather and this and that. It's just, look,